A major sticking point for longtime Star Wars fans was when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, and their decision to abandon the expanded universe in 2014. Nearly everything that wasn't released in theaters was abandoned, of course save for the Clone Wars animated series. So why did Lucasfilm and Disney do this? Fortunately, one man has that answer for us. Leland Chee, who's part of the Lucasfilm story group, believes the reason it all came down is due to one well-known walking carpet that we all know and love. And while he didn't join the story group until after the decision was made to abandon the Star Wars expanded universe, he says that from his perspective, the decision came down to the fact that Chewbacca had been killed in a comic book. Here's what he had to say about it. For me, it came down to simply that we had killed Chewbacca in the Legends. A big moon had fallen on him. Part of that original decision was Chewbacca because he can't speak and just speaks in growls. He was a challenging character to write for in novels. Publishing decided it needed to kill somebody, and it was Chewbacca. But if you have the opportunity to bring back Chewbacca into a live-action film, you're not gonna deprive fans that. There's no way I'd want to do an episode 7 that didn't have Chewbacca in it, and have to explain that Chewbacca had a moon fall on his head? And if we were to overturn a monumental decision like that, everything else was really just minor in comparison. And he wasn't wrong, as Chewbacca did in fact die in the expanded universe by making a noble sacrifice to save his friends after being killed by an actual giant moon falling on top of his body, which happened during the Yuuzhan Vong War. This actually was a tactic by the mysterious Yuuzhan Vong that literally allowed them to crush moons into worlds by manipulating gravitational fields. Chee later clarified his statement on Twitter to stress that this was not Disney's official explanation for the canon reset, but his own personal take on that creative decision. But considering this guy works for a living on what's canon and what isn't in Star Wars, I think we can take his word on this explanation as semi-official, as it's highly unlikely Disney will ever officially address why they decided to erase the expanded universe. Of course, both good and bad has since resulted from the reset of the official Star Wars canon. Now on the bright side, things aren't as nearly as messy, as before there was nobody overseeing everything that was released. So there was a lot of really wacky stories out there and not everything really lined up. Fortunately now, Disney have a much more tighter control on what gets released of the Star Wars brand name and are seemingly more interested in quality over quantity. But what do you all think? Now that it's been several years since the buyout, did Disney really do the right move in abandoning the Star Wars expanded universe? And I'm interested to hear what your opinions are on this, as I know everyone has a different take on all of this and I'm excited to hear what you all have to say, both good and bad. This is N7 from Silo, signing off.